Hey there, Math 112 fans. I'm going to make a series of short videos on each of these topics. We had a nice review session today. This is winter 2025, so somebody watching this in the future, check with your instructor on coverage of material. We're adjusting these courses, so it might not perfectly fit, but it might be interesting if you need help with these things. Basic derivative skills, which appear in Math 112. Basic antiderivative skills, just using antiderivatives without any substitution or anything else in calculus. This is just for someone in this course specifically. Definite integral skills, which is talking about what do we do if there's some numbers mixed in, just how do we compute, how to find plus C, important idea. Analyzing functions, which I've been telling people is my number one focus. What I want you to take away from Math 112, the ability to analyze functions. Then we're going to have one question on the test on the area between curves. I've said this today in class. Again, in the future, it might be different. It might depend on instructor. That our first page of our exam is going to be these skills. The second page will be about these analyzing a function skill. Now, in doing that, you use several of the other skills. And the third page, you're going to have analyzing functions in the area between curves. I'm giving a lot of guidance this term because our old exam archives don't perfectly fit. And so there's not like an old exam I can point you to that directly looks like this. I can point you to several things that are close, but I did a very thorough review, and now I'm going to make a video on each of these topics. I've already made the first 5 videos, but I'm about to do a Zoom review with the class, and so I'll finish the 6th one tomorrow. But I'll post all these in just a few minutes. Before I go into that, I just want to remind students, I have a lecture video here. You can go to Panopto and you can see a recording of what we did today. I have notes with examples. I have a practice page here. So there's plenty of stuff. I have quite a few people posting on the discussion board. Where do we find this? It's there, but you got to dig a little bit. I'm not trying to hide anything, and I hope you come to my Zoom review. People are just hammering me in this course that I'm not providing enough clarity, and I don't know where that's coming from, but I'm trying to help you. So the other thing I would say is my materials page is a good place to go. Now, people get overwhelmed by it. I know I've made a lot of stuff. I handed these out in class. If you watch the video on derivatives and you're still struggling, you could go to this review sheet. I made this for people that are struggling, but I realize now not as many people want to use a review sheet. But I have like an example where I say, here is this function. You try to take the derivative and then check your final answer. And if you did something wrong, then you can go through the steps. And I basically tried to find a way to write it to be like, this is what you should be thinking, and here's how I break it down. So this is kind of excruciatingly detailed for someone that doesn't need that help. But here I have several of these, and I was trying to help with that. So you need to kind of find where your issue is. When it comes to, if you're having trouble with the plus C, I've got that here. So I talk about, here's a derivative, here's an initial value, you try the problem, and then I step through it in a lot of detail. So I'm trying to give for people that want a lot of detail, I even show you how you check your work. So if you really are determined and you're just figure out, I have a problem right there, finding the plus C. Look at that, I give a whole bunch of examples. Or I had a problem in 12.4 with the applications. I talk about that. I know it's a lot of stuff to read. I'm not saying everyone needs to read all that. If the homework was good for you, you're fine. If you know the homework well, inside and out, you're going to do really well on this test. But I know that's not. Anyways, so then I have other things here. You're having trouble with what do we do if there's bounds? So and then I have a bunch of short examples. You could calculate, see if you get the same answer. All right. A flow chart of how to think about derivatives and integrals in this course. I'm not saying you need to go through all that. I'm just trying to give you a place that you can practice more if you need. All right. Hope that's helpful. I also handed this review sheet out in class. Don't be overwhelmed by it, but watch these next videos. Find out what your questions are. You can continue to ask me questions on the discussion board. But I hope this helps, and I hope the review we gave today helps. In the end, the goal is to understand the ideas. And I think through going through these next few videos, hopefully we can get you there if you aren't there yet. But I gave a lot of guidance on what's going to be out in the exam. But the number one thing is you have to know the ideas. All right, I hope you're with me here. You can do well in this exam. This is exactly what's on it. Let's go get it.